10-foot and 25-foot rules are distinct guidelines specifying minimum distances required for certain installations in relation to buildings. While both address spatial separation, their purposes, applications, and measurement methods differ. Firstly, consider the purpose. The 10-foot rule is primarily designed to mitigate ignition hazards originating from sources like grills and fire pits. Its objective is to establish a safe buffer zone, minimizing the risk of fire propagation to nearby structures. In contrast, the 25-foot rule is geared towards safeguarding building occupants from potential adverse effects related to combustion air systems, such as ventilation intakes and exhaust outlets. This rule aims to ensure that the intake of fresh air remains uncontaminated and that exhaust gases are adequately dispersed, thereby maintaining indoor air quality. Secondly, understand the installations covered. The 10-foot rule specifically applies to ignition sources. These sources encompass a range of equipment including grills, barbecues, fire pits, and chimeneas. The focus is on preventing the spread of flames or sparks from these devices to combustible materials within or attached to buildings. On the other hand, the 25-foot rule is applicable to combustion air systems, including ventilation intakes, exhaust outlets, and combustion air supply openings. The intention is to maintain proper airflow and prevent the recirculation of exhaust gases into the building's ventilation system. Thirdly, consider the measurement methods. For the 10-foot rule, the distance is measured from the outermost edge of the ignition source to the nearest combustible part of any building. This measurement is crucial for assessing the potential fire hazard posed by the ignition source. For the 25-foot rule, the measurement is taken from the nearest combustion air system opening to the nearest window, door, or other opening in a building. This measurement ensures that combustion air intakes are sufficiently distanced from potential sources of contamination, like exhaust vents or building openings that may release pollutants. Fourthly, consider some exceptions to the rules. The 10-foot rule does not typically apply to solid fuel stoves or fireplaces installed within a building. These appliances are often subject to different safety standards and regulations. The 25-foot rule does not apply to combustion air intakes located in the side of a building that faces away from windows and doors. The location on the building is crucial, especially if they are free from potential sources of contamination. In practical implications, both the 10-foot and 25-foot rules can often be satisfied by meeting the 10-foot distance. However, there are scenarios where compliance with the 25-foot rule may pose challenges. For example, a grill situated on a small patio might lack the necessary space to achieve a 25-foot separation from the nearest building. Similarly, a combustion air intake positioned on the side of a building could be too close to a window or door, even if it is more than 10 feet away from the building. When faced with such situations, it may be necessary to implement additional measures. These measures could include installing a spark screen to contain sparks from a grill or modifying the location of the combustion air intake to ensure compliance with the applicable regulations. In summary, the 10-foot rule and the 25-foot rule are distinct regulations designed to address different safety concerns. While the 10-foot rule focuses on preventing fire hazards from ignition sources, the 25-foot rule aims to maintain air quality by ensuring proper separation of combustion air systems from potential sources of contamination. Understanding the specific requirements and exceptions of each rule is essential for ensuring compliance and promoting safety in building design and installation.